Hey guys, Richard Rogers here. It's good to be with you. Here we are at the introduction for Module 2. We're glad you came back after Module 1. Module 2 is titled Funding, History, Policies, and Laws. We will begin covering those topics in this module, but just please know that's going to continue for the next couple of modules. Let me ask you a question. What were you doing in 1985? I could see some of you saying possibly that I wasn't alive yet. But the legislature in Georgia, they were passing a new law to fund public schools. And it's the same law we use today. It was called the Quality Basic Education, which is better known as QBE. And there have been minor changes to the law since 1985. So the majority of the law is what we had in 1985. And most educators today say the QBE funding is a good formula. One of the biggest concerns I hear about it is that it needs to address poverty. That at this time, it's important that we start giving extra funding to poverty instead of just looking at special education and gifted education and elementary school grades 1 through 3, middle school, high school. Let's just put in a poverty factor, but the amount of the different programs has not changed since originally passed, except for teacher salaries increasing, which caused the higher amount. Many educational leaders, as I said, have enjoyed it. They like it. And we believe if the legislatures were to add the poverty and give some additional funding for students who are identified as maybe free or reduced lunch, that really this QBE formula could continue for many years to come. And you will notice that over the last few years, different governors have actually, created committees to review it and to say, is this what's best? And they never come out with anything better. And sometimes what concerns us as educational leaders is what they come out with may actually be worse. And so really, from my opinion, if they would just add an element for poverty, the rest of it's a very good funding formula. As you work through Module 2, you'll be surprised to learn how our schools are funded and the levels of some of the funding. If you hear from legislators that they're fully funding public education or the quality basic education, the QBE, you'll now have a better knowledge of what that means. And, I just challenge you to, even if our governor and legislators fully fund public education, and what that means is fully fund QBE, does that mean public education is fully funded? And that's something you'll find out in this module. And we look for you to also think about the issue of poverty and what your thoughts are on that. You'll watch a direct video instruction on how does Georgia fund schools. It's a short video, but it's really good. Also, Dr. Scott and I filmed a video as well for you to view on this topic. You'll also look at the 20-2-161, which is the Quality Basic Education Formula, the weights for FTE funding formula. So we have you the website and how to select your allotments for your respective district. Also, the Georgia Budget Primer is a wonderful resource and one that you'll want to look at annually. But you have the link to get the current one depending on when you're taking this course. And then we'll have a study for you to read titled "The Equity of Public Education Funding in Georgia from 1988 to 1996." So for your discussion, let me read those three for you. Your first paragraph, in 100 words or more, share 3 interesting facts or ideas you learned about Georgia's budget after you read the GBPI's Georgia Budget Primer. And GBPI stands for the Georgia Budget and Policy Institute. Did you find this budget resource helpful? Why or why not? Let us know. Paragraph 2, in 100 words or more, share your thoughts on the study titled "The Equity of Public Education Funding in Georgia, 1988 to 1996." What did you learn about funding by reading this historical study? It amazes me when I read it just how much is still current today, even though it's a historical study. Third paragraph, in 100 words or more, share your thoughts on how public schools are funded today. Is the funding equitable for all students in all school districts? What changes, if any, would you make to the funding? This is your decision, your time to think about what would you change, because some would say that rural districts are at a disadvantage compared to more urban or suburban districts. So just analyze that from those different perspectives, and you'll learn in this course about equalization grants that they try to help with that as well. The formative assessment for this module 2, is your weights for FTE funding formula tables. And your summative assessment will be your reading quiz over that study. Well, guys, we hope you've enjoyed the kickoff of this course, and that module 2 once again expands your knowledge of educational budgeting. And Dr. Scott and I just look forward to continuing this course with you.